Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome in to the Tuesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Philip Pilkington here filling in for the P-Man as Patrick is calling ECU women's basketball the conference opener tonight inside Williams Arena, Minges Coliseum against UAB at 6 o'clock. PJ will join us in the second segment to give us a brief report. From there, we will wrap up the show with some college football playoff talk. But before that, here in a second, we'll get into our 5 at 5. But I want to introduce my co-host, the man that we are doubling up on this week. Is his punishment for traveling to see his girlfriend's family over the weekend and not participating in Pirate Game Day Countdown. He was on Hoist Kellers yesterday. Now he's on the Patrick Johnson Show. Welcome in, Joe Sampson.
Wow. What an electric and, I'm going to be honest, a little bit of a shot there, Philip. I thought you were going to say something like, how dare he have plans tomorrow for New Year's Eve and he can't make it to Scooters. But, whichever one you want to pick as the fight for us to get going on today. But happy to be here.
All right, let's do it. Let's drop the gloves. Come on. How dare you go see your girlfriend's family at Christmas time? What, do you care more about family than you care about a 2-hour pregame show for the Go Bowling Military Bowl? I'm furious.
Fair enough. No, I only respect the Birmingham Bowl, obviously.
There you go. That's because you tried to play in the Military Bowl and somebody decided not to show up. So you are boycotting the Military Bowl. Is that correct?
The Golden Shower Eagles. That would be them, yes.
Okay. Fair enough. I can respect that. And you're now paying your dues with your 2 hours of radio between yesterday and today. So we got a lot to talk about. So we're going to get right into it. Here is our 5 at 5.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Alrighty, our first story, the preseason coaches poll is out for the American Conference College baseball season. That's right, Pirate fans. It's never too early to talk Pirate baseball. The East Carolina Pirates have been picked as the favorite to win the conference. They received 4 first-place votes. UTSA also received 4 first-place votes. Charlotte and Tulane, 1 each. 3 Pirate players receive preseason accolades. That is pitcher Ethan Norby, first baseman Austin Irby, and outfielder Braden Burris. When is the last time somebody received the same amount of votes as ECU to finish first place? A little disrespect here, Joey Football.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Joey Baseball hat here. I don't know if there's a team in the conference that you can even put in the conversation. UTSA, obviously their approach, they always seem to find a way to get hits when it comes to conference play. But they are abysmal from, I would probably say, from March till about April. And then they somehow kind of turn it on right before April and May. But I just don't see the amount of talent they have on that roster. Got a couple talented pitchers that have come through in the transfer portal that they'll probably see be those Friday, Saturday starter guys. But I just don't think they have that kind of workhorse like we have Norby in the lineup to be able to sit here and say that they should command the same amount of votes. But, I am not AP Joey Football.
This ain't AP. This is the coaches poll. This is the other coaches voting for their friends is what I'm getting out of this.
Friends? Ain't no friends.
No friends in baseball? I know there's no crying in baseball. There might be some
no
friends
crying
in baseball. It's a good point you bring up. I think they really do trust the depth of their rotation going into this season. The question is, do they have their guy that they trust to go get them a win? And I think East Carolina, well, I don't think East Carolina. I know East Carolina has that guy in Ethan Norby. And look, man, I thought the Pirates did a really good job in the portal this year, and you're returning a lot from last year. So, look, man, I'm excited for this baseball season. It's going to sneak up on us with the later portal window. And, it's going to be interesting because that portal window is going to close for football, and then boom, baseball media day is going to be here. The season's right around the corner. And, Joe, I'm excited. I think the Pirates bounce back after, by East Carolina standards, a bad season last year.
I agree, and I think that Godwin kind of spoke out of both sides of his mouth last year when we were at Media Day, and you heard it, which was we're not really going to emphasize the portal. We believe in homegrown talent. And I think he kind of saw what the difference is these days of what it is to build a roster through high school players and junior college transfers and having to kind of dip into the portal, not because you can't compete, but because there is so much talent out there looking for a second opportunity, looking for those chances where they are able to kind of transfer in and maybe make a better impact than what they need to do. And I think that's the story of college baseball, especially. He's always not the underdog, so to say, but the undersized guy, like the Joey Barinis of the world, who was a walk-on and then starts at shortstop in a super regional for you. You need to find guys like that. It doesn't always have to be the blue chip recruit that you went out and got and you've been holding on to since he was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, I think it's evolved, and nobody has done better at that than Coach Godwin. You mentioned Barini. Think of a guy like Braden Burris, who we just mentioned his preseason accolades. So I do think more than 3 Pirates will have postseason accolades when this thing's all said and done. But, with these preseason things, we got to show a little bit of socialism and give everybody somebody on the list. It's like the MLB All-Star Game. Everybody gets an All-Star. But, hey, that's a conversation for another day.
Don't get me started.
That's a PJ Show After Dark rant, I think.
Yeah, we'll get kicked off the air.
Yeah, well, that's why it's After Dark. We stream it only. YouTube and Facebook, baby, which we're live on right now. If you guys are in your car and you make it to the house, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, IBX Media app, or 943thegame.com. All righty, let's move on to number 2, which is a Pirate sport that is currently in season. The only major sport that's currently in season is basketball, of course. And men's basketball has added a mid-year grad transfer, Dimitri Gardner, a 6'4" wing, who averaged 23.2 points per game at Division II Augusta State during the 2024-2025 season. Gardner is eligible to play tomorrow against Tulane to begin conference play. Joey football, I said it throughout November and early December. The Pirates needed to add a guard/wing at the trade deadline. And I guess there's no trade deadline, but can we say the January transfer window of European soccer came 2 days early for the East Carolina Pirates? That's the only analogy I've got. But hey, and not only is he doing this, he's coming from a real D2 school that we've actually heard of. Like Augusta State is good every year.
I think my problem is you are now setting a precedent where are we going to draw the line? Because LeBron James probably still has some college eligibility, which is what they're also ruling now for NBA players that came straight out of high school are now able to go back and play in college. So at what point is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to become the number 5 player in the entirety of a recruiting class, and everybody tries to get him as he decides he doesn't want to play in the NBA anymore? You are setting up yourselves for failure. I don't blame the Pirates for going after a guy like that. I think they needed a guard like that who can do things in certain situations and get the ball to the second level. They don't do exceptionally well in the low post this year. I think he plays really well into those kind of mid forwards and the ability to play the pick and roll, because the Pirates have been abysmal from behind the 3-point line this year, as I'm sure everybody has heard on this show on numerous occasions. I just hate that mid-year. Imagine, you were a high school football player. Imagine high school, you were playing, you're getting ready for the push into like halfway through the season, and somebody tells you they're going to go, I'm going to go transfer to Mallard Creek, or I'm going to go to Weddington, which I get it. Better schools, better resources, better opportunities. But you just bled with the guy for 15 weeks. You went through all of this winter conditioning with him. You thought you had him, and he says, I'm going to leave on Tuesday, actually. I got to go transfer somewhere else. I don't fault the player. I don't fault the coaches for having to do it. I fault the system, because once again, the national communists against athletes strike again, and the only thing that they are monitoring is the Pop-Tart Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, and if Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman, will he also win the national title?
All right, I got 2 problems with what you said. First off,
fair?
Weddington. Transferring away. Look, we fought tooth and nail against those guys in the state semifinals. They were not miles better than us. Okay. Yeah, we fought tooth and nail with those guys. Mallard Creek is a fair comparison, but we were that close to a state championship game my senior. Secondly, you think Giannis Antetokounmpo would be the number 5 recruit if he went back to college? Or what are you smoking, Joey football? He'd be the number 1.
He's 42 years old?
Oh, if he's 42, yeah, but I'm talking about he did it now.
LeBron's 41. He wants to go back to Duke and do what he could never do beforehand. What are we going to do when Giannis decides he wants to go play for Syracuse at 45 years old to go collect a paycheck instead of playing in the Big 3 for Ice Cube?
You think he'd go to Syracuse? I could see Giannis somewhere I think he's gonna be somewhere a little more flashy. I think Giannis would reinvent UNLV, baby.
No.
Now he'd go to UConn and play for Hurley.
Go to UConn, play for Hurley, go to Syracuse, and go get some great Greek food and the entirety of New York. Just normal.
Do they actually have Greek food in Syracuse? Because that's nowhere near the city, bud. He might need to go to St. John's and play for Mr. Patino if he wants some Greek food.
He's not going to play for Rick Pitino. That's not
no, he's not. Do they actually have Greek food in Syracuse, though? Like, I'm legit curious. They actually have legit Greek food up in upstate?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I would assume so. I haven't been – the furthest we've been north is Lake George / Rochester. So it's not – yeah. Gotcha. Syracuse is up there, man. Syracuse,
it is. That's why when you were like, yeah, like Syracuse, like the rest of New York. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, Syracuse isn't part of New York. It's part of the state of New York. But
Carmelo went there, for God's sakes. How bad could it be?
Dylan Johnson, voice of the baseball Pirates, went there. He said one winter was enough. He enjoyed the school and he enjoyed the people, but he was like, one winter is I'm coming back to Greenville, boys. I don't blame you. He got his degree and said, I'm out. I'm going to be the voice of ECU baseball. So, I can't blame him.
I can't blame him.
Yeah. So what was this about? Oh, yeah, the guy coming here. That's the whole point of this conversation. All right. Yeah. So Demetrius Gardner, look, Joe, you're right. The system, and we could sit here and bag on the system all day. The system is so screwy. I mean, we got a guy who's played in the NBA going back to Baylor. We talked about that. I can't remember if it was yesterday on the show or late last week on this show. On top of that, you got a guy mid-year transferring. It's ridiculous. Now, I don't think he's played this year, so that is part of it. It's not like but still, that we could do a 4-hour show just on how corrupt the NCAA is and still have a lot to talk about. As for the Pirates directly, because this is a Pirate-centric show, look, I think this is a good addition. This team is banged up. This team, to your point, has struggled to put the ball in the basket. And now my one worry about this team, about bringing in a new face. Now, at the end of the day, if you don't put the ball in the basket, it doesn't matter. But I do like the ball movement. I do like the chemistry of this team. I think that this, Coach Schwartz has built an identity. Now, unfortunately, there's not enough go-to-the-basket scorers on the roster, but you can tell by the body language these guys want to play together. They want to be a part of this thing, and they move the ball pretty well. They just only really have Jordan Riley and Gio to put it in the hoop. And if those guys are shut down, it makes it tough. And I'm just worried, could this screw up the chemistry? You mentioned a guy leaving your program. Now let's talk about a guy coming into your program. Now, this is something that happens at the Major League Baseball level. We mentioned the transfer January window in soccer. It happens in other sports as well, but it doesn't happen at the collegiate level. Now all of a sudden you've got a guy just, hey, man, I'm going to be part of your team. Nice to meet you. Shake your hand. I don't know your name, but I'm going to go out there and play with you tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head when it comes to that. How do you prioritize chemistry within that? How do you get somebody up to speed in a system like that? And I'm sure part of Schwartz's evaluation process and all the assistant coaches is he going to fit in to this system? And like you mentioned, besides that loss to number 12, Carolina, they have looked like they've had an identity these last 3 games. They got Tulane coming up here shortly, and I think that that's going to be a good opportunity. I think the problem I have with it, Philip, is you're playing your 2 best players 39 minutes, and I don't know if you have somebody who can handle that kind of a swap with it, because the way they play, and especially within it, Jordan Riley, like you mentioned, is such a ball-dominant player. I don't think that he's going to be one of those guys who can play kind of in the offset, put himself in the 2. He's got to command the ball. He's got to command the offense. He's got to kind of lead things at the scorer's table. I think Giovanni could be one of those instances where you do kind of see Gio move. Maybe Gio goes to the 2 slot when they go to the bench lineup like that to try and get Riley some minutes. But there's only so much time within a game, and your rotation is already so small because you like so many of your guys to play those meaningful minutes down the stretch. It will be very interesting to see how they kind of prioritize Tulane in that instance of where to get him in his feet wet, or where do you prioritize trying to get team basketball where it needs to be.
Yeah, they definitely have established that rotation. It seems like over the last about 6-7 games, Coach Schwartz has found out where he likes to distribute the minutes. All righty, let's move on now because we've got to keep going to number 3. We're going to stay in college athletics. The Las Vegas Raiders will be losing their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, to the Wild Kitties of Northwestern, who will play the East Carolina Pirates in 2027. So we get our shot against the guy who's going to score a touchdown on the opening drive, Joey Football, and go for two regardless of the scenario, because that's what he did at Oregon. That's what he would have done at UCLA if he could have scored an opening drive touchdown at UCLA, but that was a dumpster fire, and now he's going to do it at Northwestern. But, of course, he's going to have to go against a Blake Harrell defense, so maybe he won't be scoring on the opening drive.
Yeah, I saw a great tweet about it, and it was, I can't wait for my Northwestern offense to be ranked 45th this season. I've never seen it before when it comes to offensive rankings. I think it's a great hire. I think he knows how to coach in the Big Ten, and I think he knows how to win in the Big Ten. I think the difference in athlete between Ohio State and Northwestern is going to be a shocking one for Chip Kelly. He hasn't always been a guy who can do a lot with less. He has to have the best players, and even when he was the head coach of the Eagles early on in his NFL coaching career, he had the best players. And then once they figured out the system, they kind of fell back. And that's always been his MO. He does really well in college. I am excited to see what it looks like. We'll see who's under center for the Pirates in that instance 2 years from now. Lord knows who it's going to be, where we will have that kind of duel for Chip Kelly. We'll see if Chip Kelly is even there in 2027 when the Pirates go, because we all know how that works. Maybe he leaves in the middle of the night like a certain coach who went to LSU and was once fired on a tarmac in a plane.
That is true, but if now he could leave on his own. I don't think he gets fired after 1 year, because if Bill Belichick still has a job after 1 year, Chip Kelly is still going to have a job after 1 year. I can guarantee you that. But he would be the kind of guy that would leave in the middle of the night. I think he would leave at I think he would just teleport away. I don't even think he would drive away in the middle of the night like the Ravens did, the Colts did when they moved away from Baltimore to Indianapolis, and there's video of the buses. It's just like he'd be in one location, and it'd be like I Dream of Jeannie, cross your arms, blink your eyes, and boom, he's in a new location. That's what would happen with Chip Kelly.
Just appear at UCF or USF or something. He's like, oh, now I'm on Brian Hartline's staff.
There we
in the
go.
middle of the night. Oof.
Oof. Oh, God, would that be a weird marriage? Hartline and Chip Kelly?
So excited to see what that looks like, because all I've heard is like how great Hartline is with all these other coaches, and at some point the relationship's got to go, and boss has to be the boss. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like.
I get what you're saying, but some guy that, and he's the boss, and he's a hard butt when he has to be a hard butt. But who's always got a good relationship with his coaches? The guy who just won the Military Bowl. Of course, there is. We kind of know that
now,
he was very hands on in the defense, and he's so maybe maybe Hartline doesn't have the guts that Blake does. I don't know, but I'm just saying Blake's a people person, and it works. So you don't have to be Vince Lombardi.
No, but I have had some massive chewing outs from our wonderful head coach Blake Harrell in some certain situations about not getting a call right or being in the wrong spot. So I understand he has that switch. I just haven't. All the receivers that talk about Hartline has never mentioned the great butt chewing like all the ones would mention about a Saban or a Will Muschamp or a Kirby Smart in that regard. So just different type of coach. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, you got to be the alpha male to an extent. All righty, we do have to get to Patrick here, so we're going to move on to number 4. Last night, more bad news for the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic leaves the game. He has an MRI on his knee today. No big-time damage, just a hyperextension. He's expected to miss roughly a month. He is the 4th Nuggets starter to be added to the injury list, joining Cam Johnson, Christian Brown, and Aaron Gordon. The only starter that is healthy is Jamal Murray, but anybody who's watched the Nuggets this year will let you know Jamal Murray is not healthy. He's just healthy enough to be on the court. Are the Nuggets cooked, Joe? They currently sit 3rd place in the Western Conference, however, only a game and a half clear of Minnesota, who sits in 6th place. It is a very tight West. Are you worried? Now, one of the things I do want to mention, they do not see Oklahoma City for the first time until mid-February, so they got plenty of time here. They're on a tough East Coast road swing. They come home, and it does get a little easier, but 4 starters is tough to overcome. We saw the Lions struggle with 23 injured players last year, and it knocked them out of the playoffs.
I think the NBA is so unique in that you don't have to be hot right now. You don't have to be a good basketball team right now. You can be injured. You can be banged up. You can do what you need to do to just kind of survive the onslaught, because the play-in, because now 10 teams get into the NBA playoffs. Now there's an opportunity. We've seen so many upsets where the 7 knocks off the 2 or the 6 knocks off the 3. I think the Nuggets are going to be fine. I think the West, yes, it's very strong, but within that division of where they sit, the only 2 contenders truly are the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the Timberwolves. The Jazz aren't going to make a ton of noise. The Mavericks have been lackluster, to be honest. It looks like they're going to move Anthony Davis also, according to rumors. I think the Nuggets are going to be fine. I think the coach, especially having now been in a full season with these guys after getting the interim tag taken off him last year, I'm not worried about it. He's also the number 1 poll right now for MVP. When he comes back, he's still going to be Nikola Jokic.
Does this remind you of the 49ers? Maybe they're getting hurt at the right time so they can be healthy when it matters most?
That's exactly what it reminds me of, yeah.
All right. Perfect. You heard it here first from Joey Football. The Nuggets, Stephen Igo, if you're listening, you have no need to worry about the Denver Nuggets. They're going to be okay.
Now, they're not beating the Knicks in June, I'll tell you that.
They're not going to play the Knicks in June.
Later.
They're not going to play the Knicks in June.
Huh?
They're not going to play the Knicks in June.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over the fact you think Peyton Pritchard's going to lead the league in scoring or something like Jalen Brunson.
I didn't say they were playing the Celtics either. I don't think they're playing the Celtics.
Who are they playing?
Dude.
Just not
the Magic.
Just put an asterisk. Just not the Knicks.
I know.
Paolo Banchero can't hit a game winner to save his life.
It's true.
Worried.
There is the Magic. Look, I'm still not, and I know Christmas Day didn't go well, and I know their record's not phenomenal. I'm not out on Cleveland yet either.
Yeah, they just, I got to see him do it.
I know. I got to see them do it, but if they start doing it, it'd be fun to have a full NBA segment. Most of our listening audience would probably turn us off, so we're going to move on. But you and I need to have an NBA segment. Yeah.
Yes, we got to get to the B-Man, though.
All righty, here we go. Up to 5 of the following players will make the Hall of Fame. The 15 modern era players were announced for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Those are Willie Anderson, Drew Brees, Jari Evans, Larry Fentz, Frank Gore, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Kevin Williams, Jason Witten, Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yonda. Holy crap, you can make an argument for all 15 of those guys, Joey Football. This is going to be tough.
I could probably make an argument for like 13 of 15.
Yeah.
Witten should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Larry Fitzgerald should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Willie Anderson should have been in already. I think that's my true problem. Reggie Wayne. And then my wild card's Vinatieri. I think longevity-wise, you can't possibly talk about anybody differently. The one that kind of gets me, and I don't want Carolina fans to come and throw Molotovs at my house, I don't know if Kuechly has enough accolades. I think that's what's going to hold him back from being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think talent-wise and ability-wise, he was the smartest and the best linebacker to play in the modern era, even over Brian Urlacher. I just don't know if he has that accolade like that Depoy or something like that where you can really say, oh, yeah, he dominated the league. You can't tell the story of football without Luke Kuechly.
Yeah. The play recognition and the talent, the athleticism, it's there. I think he deserves to be in. I'm not saying he's got to get in this year. He deserves to be in. You named 5 there. One of the guys you didn't name, I think you got to put him in right now. And look, it's a bias because of the position he played. But when he retired, he had the most passing yards. He had the most passing touchdowns. He had the most wins. You got to put Drew Brees. You know?
No.
All right, let's. Here we go. Let's fight about this. No. PJ's just going to have to wait.
Yeah. Look, the thing with Drew Brees is you can argue that he's a Hall of Famer in New Orleans. And I get that. But what has he done besides 3 seasons in New Orleans where you would say he was an MVP caliber player? He wins a Super Bowl after Katrina. I understand that. I get that he was an icon for the city. He led the NFL in passing touchdowns. How many Super Bowls did he make, Philip?
Look, I just think he was on crappy teams. It's the same argument. Like, do you think Stafford?
They went to the playoffs. Stafford's got a ring also.
So they've each got a ring. Are you saying Stafford and Brees, you're no on both?
I'm saying they're not first ballots.
Okay. Would you think they both deserve to be in?
Yes, they get in. I'm just saying this year you have 5 choices out of that list. Drew Brees is not in the 5. Luke Kuechly's not in the 5. It's just a stacked list. I don't think
this
is held
deep.
out of the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I don't think Eli Manning should be held out of the Hall of Fame. I think you can't tell the story of football without both of them, which is what it should be. I just do not think they're first ballot.
Okay. That's fair. I can get behind that.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
no, I can get behind that. Then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Kuechly's second year, though.
Is it his second? I thought this
It
was his
is.
first year.
It's his second. But I just want him to get in. Man, him, these short-jevity guys, I understand if it's short-jevity and you're just decent, but if you're dominant when you're on the, like Megatron, Luke, I don't know quite Todd Gurley. I think it might have been too short-jevity.
Maurice Jones-Drew, guys like that.
Yeah, a little tougher at those positions, but
Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't want to get on that horse, but Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame.
I can get behind that.
P-Man's got to wait. Fred Taylor's got to be in the Hall.
We got to get to P-Man. We got to stay on time with our breaks. We are behind. All right, we're going to take a time out here on the Patrick Johnson Show. We're going to get to PJ on the other side. Stay tuned. More to come here on 94.3 The Game and the Tuesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show here, Tuesday edition. Philip Pilkington and Joe Sampson filling in for the P-Man. The P-Man joins us now. PJ, you are over at the arena inside Williams Arena, Minges Coliseum, getting set for the American Conference opener for the women's team as they host UAB tonight at 6 o'clock. You'll be on the ESPN Plus broadcast. But boy, has it been a busy day in Pirate basketball because they have added a men's basketball player as well. Dimitri Gardner has come from D2 Augusta State, and I think that's kind of the big news right now.
Yeah, I know you guys have said your piece on it, and it's great that you guys are doing the show today. I really appreciate it. The other thing is I've joined the long list of major stars that call into their own show: Clay Travis, Screamin' A, Tim Brando, Henry Hinton. So I'm right up there now. I'm right up there with the luminaries of our industry, the giants of our industry. So, the thing I think about this is, you had to have somebody at the two-guard position to do something that could, make shots. Now, he doesn't look like a big volume shooter kind of guy, but he is efficient, has shot over 40% the last 2 years from three. A couple of years ago, as I'm sure you guys chronicled, was a big scorer at Augusta State, and it also averaged 17 and a half the year before that. So here's somebody who at least knows how to kind of hunt a shot and make a shot. And that the team needs that as much as anything right now. So we'll see. I just hope it'll be not too big an adjustment. I spoke to one of the Pirate assistants today, and basically he will play tomorrow. They're going to bring him off the bench. So they're throwing him into the fire. We're going to find out how much he could contribute and how much he could play. Also talked to a couple different sources today that were telling me there was actually a little bit of resistance to this at the administrative level. And I think a lot of this was when Coach Schwartz presented the idea to them that, mid-season or in the Christmas break, you needed to make additions to the roster. There was some pushback to that. And I think that may have had more than anything to do with, that we spent money on this roster and it's underachieved. It's not performed. So that might have been some questions. Now, whether that classifies as pushback or there was legitimate pushback, I don't know. But I did talk to two people today. I kind of trust what they would tell me. So otherwise I wouldn't bring that up. And I think it might have just been a matter of tough questions being asked. And let's face it, guys, this season, a lot of tough questions have needed to be asked.
No, they definitely have been, but also, hey, mid-season additions, it's something that happens at the professional level, PGA. It's something January, transfer portal in soccer where you have spent a lot of money on your roster and you go spend more money right in January. So kind of the same deal, right? So, I mean, kind of is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the game tonight, a couple teams that are coming in have been played well. UCU's won 4 in a row coming in. UAB has won 3 in a row, 4 or 5. UAB is interesting because they can kind of fill it up. All 5 of their starters are double-figure scorers for them. And their starting point guard from last year now comes off the bench. And she's coming back from an injury late last season. But they've got a great freshman in Sophia Munoz, who's really stepped up. Missed last year missed her high school senior year with an ACL, but has come back as a freshman here in college and played really, really, really well. And they shoot the three. Made 14 threes in their last game. They shoot 40% from three-point territory as a team, or actually a little over 38%, and make about 10 threes a game on average. So that'll be the challenge tonight. Anjanae Hutton, who scored her 1,000th career point last time out when the Pirates blew out Campbell, is out tonight, a late scratch. So they will be without their graduate player tonight in the conference opener.
Yeah, that's not good news. That is one of 3 Pirate players averaging double figures right now. PJ, real quick, though, we know you got to go. But let's just talk about this Pirate offense. Historically in the Kim McNeil era, it seems like defense has led to offense, and still they have had some games this year where they've really been able to harass on the defensive end of the ball, and it's led to offense. But I think this is the best offensive half-court team Kim McNeil has ever had, and that includes the team that went to better than the team who went to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think that is something they can do. It's a much different team. It's not so much an inside-out kind of team. It's maybe more of an outside-in kind of team and maybe more of an outside team at times. I know they want to get a little more scoring out of Savannah Brooks, who eclipsed the 1,000-point mark in her career earlier this year after transferring in. Taylor Barner's been really, really hot, averaging over 20 points a game the last several games for the Pirates. 30 games a couple of games ago against Wofford, 30 points a couple of games ago against Wofford. So we'll see how that plays out tonight, but obviously Hutton not being in the lineup will be a big deal. Zanaya Zealous is one that they're going to have to try to get some production out of tonight in the conference opener, and she had a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds last time out. So, but looking forward to it. Brittany Hoyt and I will be on ESPN Plus at the top of the hour, and back tomorrow for a live edition of the PJ Show as we bring in the new year in Romania.
Yeah, we will recap We'll recap the game that you're calling tonight, as well as the Pirates men's conference opener tomorrow, which you can hear at noon on 94.3 The Game. PJ, take it easy. Have a good call. Look forward to watching you on TV tonight.
Happy New Year, Joey football. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Philip. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right. That was Patrick Johnson. You can catch him on ESPN Plus. Pirates and Blazers tonight. Balmy Blazer tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus. All right. We are going to take a time out. Then me and Joey Football are going to talk a little college football playoff, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have a brief final segment as we normally do, and about a weird rule that I just saw happening in a college game, and we're going to talk about how dumb it is. And I'm not even going to tell Joey what it is until I tell him. So he will have no prerequisite to think anything up. All that and more still to come. Patrick Johnson Show.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you. Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
They're back! And I love them!
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show. Philip Pilkington here alongside Joe Sampson. He's filling in today for me as I am filling in for the P-Man. And Joe, it's time to talk college football playoff quarterfinals. PJ and I probably won't have a lot of time to talk about this tomorrow because we'll be recapping the men's and the women's conference opener. But tomorrow night, 7:30, it'll be Miami and Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl down in Jerry World. What are you thinking about this one here, Joe?
I think the loser has to take credit for Tate Martell being their quarterback at one point.
That's awesome. I can get behind that.
I think it's Ohio State's to lose. I don't know Miami started out so hot this season. I think they peaked at the wrong time. I think Ohio State is playing their best football as of late. Their only loss coming to Indiana, which even then, I think it was a 13-10 loss or 17-13, something along those lines. So not a crazy blowout by any means. Good football against a good football team. And Ryan Day does this, man. This is exactly what Ohio State does. People start to doubt them. Ryan Day starts slapping people around when he needs to, and they go out there and they just win football games when it comes to it in the playoff semifinals, in the first round, whatever iteration you want to call it of the playoff. This is what Ohio State's built for. I just think he's going to outcoach Cristobal. I truly do, and I just don't know if there's enough talent on Miami to even make it close.
This year, Miami's been good. They've not been dangerous. Is this a Miami problem, or is this slightly a Cristobal problem? Because I felt last year that Georgia took a huge step back when Carson Beck got injured in the SEC championship game, but it doesn't seem like Carson Beck is the difference maker this year. Not that he really felt like it last year, but clearly he was because the team was terrible without him. Is this a Beck problem? Is this a Cristobal problem? Is this just the team's not that good problem?
I think it's a Cristobal problem, and the reason I say that is look at last year. You had Cam Ward, who could have won the Heisman Trophy based off everything, led the entire NCAA in passes completed in the season. Excuse me. How do you not do something with that? Winds up being the number 1 overall pick, but that's the Cristobal kind of slate. I mean, 2 years ago they lose the game because they can't take a knee late in the game, knocks them out of the ACC title. Last year, just an abysmal run in conference. This year, throw it all away by losing 2 tough games and 1 bad one. I just think Cristobal, this is his ceiling. I think he's the James Franklin of Miami. I don't think that they have somebody who can get over that hump. I think he's a great recruiter. I think he's got history with the school as an alum. I just don't think that he is the guy who's going to get Miami back to relevancy.
All right, so you heard it here. Me and Joey Football both on the Buckeyes. We'll move to New Year's Day. It's going to be the Orange Bowl. It's going to be a 12 o'clock start for us on the East Coast. It'll be 11 o'clock for the folks making the drive from Lubbock, and it will be 9 a.m. for the folks from Eugene, Oregon. Duckies, Red Raiders. Have the Red Raiders done enough in the $55 million roster to buy themselves a national championship?
I don't know if they'll buy a national championship, but I know they'll buy an Orange Bowl. I think that they are the best team coming out of that side of the bracket. I am really high on the Red Raiders. I'm glad that they didn't have to even be in the conversation and handle the Big 12 like they needed to, because their only loss, like we've shown, is a tough one, and that's without their starting quarterback in a horrible situation as far as when he went down and how they had to prepare for things. I think that talent-wise, they are probably the most talented team that has come out of the Big 12 in the 4-team era, never mind in the 12-team era, so I'm really excited to see what they do against the Ducks. And I'm not high on Dante Moore. I've said this on numerous occasions. It's not necessarily just a thing about Dante Moore, but I'm not excited about watching him play, and I just think that the Red Raiders defense is going to give him fits.
I think they are. And, I don't love Morton either, but I think Morton does what it takes to win. He reminds me of Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
So you got the Red Raiders. I'm on Texas Tech. I'm full disclosure, I'm on the Texas Tech bandwagon. And I'm picking them.
Completely fair.
All right. The winner of that will get the winner of the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl will be played at 4 p.m. instead of 5 p.m., which is a cardinal sin. ESPN or whoever should be fired, but it will be a 4 o'clock start for the Alabama Crimson Tide and the number 1 overall seed, the Indiana Hoosiers.
With the future starting quarterback of the Raiders, Fernando Mendoza. I like Indiana. I do. And this isn't schmuck insurance. I'm not protecting myself and saying like, oh, well, Joey Football called it. I like Indiana. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people want to anticipate. I think this is going to be one of those 27-24s. Signetti outcoaches DeBoer. One key play from a Mendoza, maybe a bad turnover from Ty Simpson. I truly think this game is going to be one of those classic Rose Bowl games. But I like Indiana.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think they cover the 7. I'm with you. Yep. I think it's 1 score. At worst, they push.
3.5.
Yeah. The thing is with Indiana, Joe, they do not look like the flashiest team, the team who wins the national championship. However, they haven't shot themselves in the foot one time all year. And when I say haven't shot themselves in the foot one time, I don't mean for the entirety of a game. I mean, they haven't shot themselves in the foot and put themselves in a position to lose a football game all year, much less actually lose a football game. And to me, Bama, it's just one of those things where, like, if Bama hits on all cylinders, could they win? Yeah, sure. But do we trust Alabama?
No, they just keep rolling over themselves. Every time that I want to believe in Alabama, they let me down. Let me down like a fat kid holding a parachute.
Oh my gosh, I have never heard that. I have never heard that analogy before. That was good. Did you just come up with that off the dome?
I did.
You should take pride in that one. That was damn good. All righty. Thursday night, we're wrapping it up. Ole Miss and Georgia. I ain't gonna lie. Look, the second he left for LSU, I'm on the Ole Miss bandwagon. Like, let's make him pay for leaving an SEC school with great job security, and let's watch them ride off into the sunset and win the national championship. But I think it comes to an end here against the Dogs.
You got a Kirby Smart who found a way to play the underdog card. They're Georgia. There was never a doubt that, maybe Georgia was going to be bad this year. Now Kirby Smart gets to say nobody believed in us. Nobody picked us. Everybody's riding the Ole Miss bandwagon. Their coach left for LSU, and they're still the talking point. Nobody's thinking about Georgia. Well, I'll tell you who's thinking about Georgia. It's our good friend Pete Golding, who's laying awake at night right now, and he's not thinking about all the DUIs that are happening over down in Georgia. He's thinking about the onslaught of offense that's coming their way.
I don't think they've had a DUI in the last 60 days, Joe. I think they've done a lot better.
The problem is you had to preface that with the last 60 days. Which, I'm pretty sure they had another player arrested a week ago.
Yeah, he was arrested, but I don't think it was for a DUI. I don't remember what he did. Are you Googling it? You look like you're typing.
I am indeed Googling it.
All right, well, he's Googling it. Louisiana Tech has just put the nail in the coffin on the Beach Chickens with a field goal to be up 9 with 56 seconds to go. It was all Beach Chickens the whole game. The Bulldogs have rallied back. They kick one right over the top part of the goalpost, right over the upright. Bulldogs, baby. I don't even know what bowl game this is. I was watching soccer earlier. Full disclosure, soccer ended, so I turned this on. What did the player get arrested for?
They had 3 players arrested before the Sugar Bowl.
Which was 4, does it say?
Two of them were arrested for trying to walk out of a Walmart without paying for paper towels and paper products. That were a misdemeanor theft. And then one of them was arrested for a high-speed police chase.
Oh, that's not good. So stealing is bad, but stealing, usually if you steal, you're not going to hurt anybody. Driving drunk, you could hurt somebody. In high-speed police chase, you can hurt somebody. So maybe no DUIs, but they're still, high-speed police chase.
The Bulldogs know speed.
Might be doing some other kind of speed. That might be the reason they're doing all this crap.
That was the 2 players in November who got arrested for drug possession. Kirby
That's
Smart
right.
is running a great program for football players, not a great program of men.
Hey, man, Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue and all those guys got to where they are today doing a lot of that stuff. So, kids do not take our advice. There are parents right now turning this radio off. They're like, shut up. But, hey, this is what happens when you're hosting on a Tuesday afternoon right before a holiday weekend, just being honest.
This is true.
All righty. So, we're on the Dogs. We're both on the Dogs.
Yeah, we're on the Dogs.
All righty. Just don't bark at your boss. This is whatever that commercial is about. Yeah, buddy. All righty. We're going to take our final time out. We're going to come back here on the Patrick Johnson Show, and we're going to talk about how stupid the rules of football are, because there was something that went on in this.
I can't wait whenever you bring something to me. I can't wait.
Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl that had me baffled, and we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about that on the other side. This will be the final segment, final time out here on the Patrick Johnson Show.
Season of giving is here at Greenville Toyota. Unwrap a new Corolla, $159 a month, $159 a month. Or new Tacoma, $219 a month, $219 a month. Don't miss the season of giving with year-end deals at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors, with locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Don't miss year-end deals during the season of giving at Greenville Toyota. Drive a new Camry, just $229 a month, $229 a month. Or new RAV4, $279 a month, $279 a month. Hurry in for the season of giving at Greenville Toyota.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show, putting a wrap on this Tuesday edition. Reminder, PJ Show will be happening tomorrow at 5 as we recap the Pirates conference opener in women's basketball tonight, which happens at 6, as well as the men's game that happens at noon tomorrow. It's right here on 94.3 The Game, 94.3thegame.com, the IBX Media app. It'll be at 11:30 airtime. Darren Vaught will be on the call as the Pirates host Tulane. But right now, it's Pilk and Joey football, holding it down as PJ gets ready for the UAB ECU women's game. Joey football. Earlier today in the Independence Bowl, a player from the Beach Chickens muffed a punt. The punt then rolled into his own end zone. He or one of his teammates fell on it and got tackled by a Louisiana Tech player. What should the ruling have been? What do you think the rule should be?
Well, if I remember correctly, and this is the problem, is it's not a safety.
It's not.
The ruling is. It is the ruling based on where the first possession is touched by the player.
No, they made it a touchback. It wasn't even where the ball was.
Touchback.
Yes, they called it. And the rules analyst said it was right, but I think this is one of those where it's a quirky college rule. And I do know a muff punt is not technically a live ball. It is different than a fumble because like a muff can't be advanced by the kicking team.
Right.
But how in the hell? Like this rule has got to be changed. If you screw up and the ball rolls in your own end zone and you get tackled in it, the other team deserves 2 points of the ball.
I agree. All right. But that's what's one of those stupid, dumb rules anyway, where like if a player punches the ball out and it goes out of bounds, but it bounces at the 1, but it looks like it crossed the plane, then it's a touchback instead of it being out at the 1. Like it's one of those. If it hits the pylon, the player's into the end zone. No. You got to cross the plane. You don't get to just tap the pylon and say that you're into the end zone because you fell 6 feet, Josh Allen.
No, if the ball breaks the plane, come on now, Joe.
If
the ball breaks
pylon out of bounds and you didn't cross the plane, like Cam Newton used to do in 2015, and he used to just reach out of bounds, might I add, not even over the goal line, and just slap that thing, it shouldn't be a touchdown.
No, I agree. If you hit the inside of the pylon.
Yes.
Yeah, if the ball was over the white line and then it hits the inside of the pylon, it should be a touchdown. If it hits the outside or the front of the pylon, the ball should be out of bounds.
Correct.
Joe, do you like your day job?
I do like my day job. My day job's different every day. So, it's very much like this. I have no idea what I'm walking into.
So I like my day job too. But if the NFL and the NCAA called us and said, the two of you will be the sole people on the rules committee, I'm just being honest.
I drop everything I'm doing.
I would drop everything I'm doing. And it's I don't even think I would enjoy it as much as I enjoy this job, but I think you and I owe it to the people of America and now beyond who watch football.
But I don't owe it to the communists against athletics.
No. I don't know. We don't owe it to them, and we don't owe it to the No Fun League either.
This is true.
But we owe it to the fans who watch every day, for you and I to be the rules committee.
This is what America was built on.
Yes, for muff punts that go in the end zone to be safeties.
Exactly. Watching a muff punt, and the first thing we scream is that it should be points for the other team. That's what this founding country was made upon.
And the ball's got to break the plane inbounds to be a touchdown.
Absolutely. And a catch is any part of the body.
Let's do it. We're quitting our day jobs. We're putting our 2 weeks in. And we are taking over the rules committee. And no more stupid modified kickoffs either.
Yeah,
all right.
Bring back the real kickoff. Bring back the wedge.
The wedge, yes, wedge blocking. All right, Joe, thank you. That was fun, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Always a pleasure.
All right, that was Joey Football. Thanks to him. Thanks to PJ. Thanks to you. Have a great rest of your evening, Pirate Nation.